Good evening, everyone. I am Raymond Seda, and it's my privilege to welcome you all for today's ISFF Tech Talk session, where our first topic focuses on the upcoming changes to the PMP certification exam in 2026. This session is proudly hosted by Bsight Consulting and Training LLCC and co-hosted by ISFF Qatar chapter. It is also my honor to introduce a mentor who played a defining role in my own successful PMP journey, a true pillar of excellence in the project management community here in Qatar. Our speaker tonight is widely respected as the first PMI approved PMP trainer in Qatar and also a first PMI CP approved trainer in the country. Having conducted Qatar's very first PMI CP training, where I was privileged to be part of the first batch last year. He currently serves in government organization ASGAL as a project manager, project engineer, contributing his expertise to some of Qatar's most significant national infrastructure projects. Academically, he is pursuing his PhD in project management and holds both Masters in Engineering and Masters in Business Administration. His professional certification credentials are PMP, PMPI-CP, RMP, CAPM, BASM and BASSM are a testament to his commitment to the excellence and lifelong learning. With 25 years of experience across project management, strategy management, and risk management, he has delivered over 250 management training programs since 2005, shaping, guiding, and elevating countless professionals across the region. Beyond all titles and accomplishments, he is a mentor. He is my mentor who leads with humility, passion, and dedication. His guidance has transformed many careers, including me. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the person who continues to elevate the standard of project management in Qatar and beyond, Mr. Angel Bright Anthony.
Thank you, Raymond, for a great introduction. So, as Raymond mentioned, we are co-hosting this webinar in collaboration with ICPEP. This webinar will be mainly focusing on the new PMP examination as well as the new standard project management body of knowledge, 8th edition, PMBOK Guide 8th edition. So that's the agenda for today's session. I'll give an overview about PMBOK Guide and what impact it is going to make in the business, project management business. And I'm sure like many of you are interested to know what will be the changes in the new PMP examination. So we will discuss about that and few preparation tips. If you are already preparing for the PMP examination, what you should do. In case you are planning to take the new examination, what you have to do. So I will provide those details. And at the end, we will have a question and answer session as well. By the way, during the presentation, if you are having any questions, you can raise your hand and I'll ask you to unmute and ask the question, or you can type your questions in the chat box as well. So when it is relevant, I will respond to that. So this webinar will give you 2 PDUs, professional development units, for those who are certified for any of the PMP certification. For others, you can get a webinar certificate, which you can add it to your profile, to your LinkedIn profile, or to your CV as you attended this particular webinar. So the criteria for that from PMI is like, obviously you have to attend the 2 hours program, then only you will be getting those 2 PDUs. At the end of the webinar, we will be sharing you the link from which you can get your webinar completion certificate, and you can use that as a evidence to get your, 2 PDUs from PMI as well. So quickly to give an overview about Bsight, we are one of the premier training providers in Qatar. We are doing PMP training as well as all other PMI training such as PGMP, PFMP for quite some time. As Raymond mentioned, he is also one of our alumni. So I am conducting PMP trainings for project management trainings for more than 20 years now. Currently, I'm working in a government organization as a project engineer, project manager, and doing this training. So Bsight is a premier institute providing the project management training as well as project management, consultancy. you can visit their website, www.bsight.org, to get more details about this organization. And, if you have any inquiries, we have the contact details there. You can contact us as well. So these are some of the recently completed online training program. Post-COVID, we are doing 100% online training program. Maybe some of your photos are there as well. This is our Google page. So more than 260 reviews we have in our Google page, around 5-star, all by our participants from their experience of learning as well as gaining the certification through our support. This is a flyer we created earlier, and maybe some of your photos are there in this flyer as well. So our office is in Al Jazeera building, West Bay. You can come and visit us in West Bay, or you can contact us through our telephone or email or our website. So just to understand, how many of you are like Bsight alumni? You have done a training program with Bsight. If you are a Bsight alumni, simply type A in the chat box, so for us to know, or B, just mention no. Yes, okay. So Ramon, hi, Vishwa, right? Okay, right. So if you're not an alumni of Bsight, just type B, first for me to understand whether you want to give more information about Bsight, or we can directly go to the subject. Right. Okay. So some of you are not yet an alumni of Bsight. So I believe some of you are part of ICPEP, still going on. Okay. We just started a batch yesterday, and Alam joined yesterday's batch. Okay, great. Good to know about all of you. Anyway, already I mentioned about Bsight. Those who are not at alumni about Bsight, if you want to know more about us, great. Yeah, hi. So you can contact us. I will launch a poll, a short poll with 10 questions just to know about you, so we can customize I can customize my presentation based on your background and how knowledgeable you are about PMBOK guide or PMP certification. So there are 10 questions. Quickly go through those questions and choose which one is more suitable for you and submit it. We will, start after the introduction. 42% of the participants are from construction industry, 29% from IT, 4% from oil and gas, 4% from manufacturing, 8% from healthcare. 3 participants are mentioned others. Can you please type in the chat box which industry you are from, just for me to take the relevant, examples. So only those who mentioned others, those 3 participants, type in the chat box which industry you are from. Are you aware about PMI and PMP, exam details? Okay, very good. 71% of you are aware about the details. 29% no. Your highest qualification, one of you are having PhD, great. 38% master's, 54% bachelor's, and 4% diploma. Project management experience, less than 3 years, 29%, more than 3 years, 71%. Your knowledge in agile project management, wow, 3 of you are experts, that's great. And 21% intermediate, 42% beginner, 25% no experience or knowledge. How familiar are you with PMBOK guide updates? Okay, so familiar with older version, 7th edition or before, 54%. That's great. I have never read it, 46%. Okay, great. What's your current PMP or other PMI certification status? 33% of you are already certified. 17% of you are preparing for PMP or other PMI certifications. Attended training, but not yet started my preparation, 17%. Not yet started, 33%. So what are you most interested in learning today? 58%, both about PMBOK guide and PMP examination. 54% about 8th edition. 29% about the exam changes. Great. Okay, that's good to know. All of you are, either using or you are interested in learning about AI tools. I'm sure all of you are aware about this AI boom. According to Gartner statistics, 80% of the project management repetitive task, what we are doing today, that could be reporting, that could be analysis, that could be, tracking the performance or progress of the project. by 2030, that will be taken over by PMI, for your information, right? So yes, we have to adopt AI tools. That's good to know about all of you. Some of you are already certified. Some of you are preparing for the examination. So as I mentioned, at the end of this program, for those joined just now, you will be getting a certificate which you can use as a proof to claim your PDUs, as well as you can use it for updating your profile or CV as well. Great. With that introduction, let's quickly go through PMI, PMP exam, and then we will start with, uh, PMBOK guide changes. So PMI, those who are not much aware about PMI, is a not-for-profit professional association established in 1969 by 5 working volunteers for promoting professionalism in project management. As of now, they are not only in project management, they are in program management, portfolio management, as well as in many other aspects. You can visit their website, www.pmi.org, to know more about PMI and their activities. Headquartered in Pennsylvania, US, it is not mandatory to be a member of PMI to get the PMP certification, but it is advisable to be a member. If you want to be a part of a professional association like ICPEP, you can associate with PMI as well. It will cost you $139 in the first year, second year onwards, $129. That's about the number of members as of now. PMI is having 755,000 plus globally, and 1.8 million certified professionals globally. In that, 1.6 million are PMP certified globally. So this is one of the, a benchmark in the project management. Oh, sorry. Right, I was like pausing. So that's the overview I was providing. Right. So, PMI, just to quickly recall, not-for-profit professional association established in 1969. $139 you have to pay to associate with PMI as a member. And www.pmi.org is the website where you can get more details about this organization. 755,000 plus members globally, 1.8 million plus certified professionals. In that, 1.6 million plus is PMP certified professionals. So this is one of the, major project management members association. Just to know about the value of PMP certification, you can just go to LinkedIn. And if you're looking for a project management related position, 8 out of 10 job openings will request for PMP. So that's why this is considered as a, global certification or gold standard in project management field. If you are in project management, if you are part of project management, look into PMP certification. That's about the certification framework. Quickly, we will go through that. If you have less than 3 years of experience in project management or no experience, you will go for CAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management. Our focus today is about the PMP exam changes. For that, you should have 3+ years of experience. So 8+ years of experience, if you're having in program management, you will go for PGMP, Program Management Certification. 8+ years of experience, if you're having in portfolio management as a department manager, section head, etc., you will be eligible for PFMP. And there are specialized certifications. Those who are interested in getting a certification in Agile, those who are experts, you can go for PMI-ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. If you are in construction industry, PMI-CP, as Raymond mentioned, CP is one of the best certifications, construction professional. Like me, if you're working in PMO, Project Management Office, they have a certification for PMO Certified Professional. Anyone, you have to manage risk as part of your job portfolio. So RMP, Risk Management Professional, will be, useful for you. By the way, this is for your information. We are conducting training program for all these certifications. If you are interested in any of those certifications, let us know. We can discuss about that. So as I told you, PMP certification is a gold standard in project management field. More than 30 million new job professionals will be required by 2035 globally, either because of new projects or because of existing people retiring soon. So they will look for certified professionals. So as you know, certification is just a paper. The process what you follow to get the certification is very important. The knowledge gain you will get while going through this process. By the way, don't think PMP certification is just you can attend a training and get the certification. You have to prepare well. Only if you are fully prepared, you will be able to pass the PMP examination. We provide that exam preparation support. So when you say you are PMP certified, your colleagues or future employees, they know you are, you can apply the project management standards in that particular organization. So it is not mandatory you have to be a project manager to get this PMP certification. If you are part of project management, any role is fine. As long as it is a management role, leadership role, you are eligible for the PMP certification. If you are a bachelor's degree or a master's degree holder, you need to have 3 years of experience in project management, plus you have to finish a 35 hours of training to submit your application for the exam. So our training will fulfill this requirement if you're already having 3 years of experience. In case you are not having a bachelor's or master's degree or PhD, then you need to have 5 years of experience and you have to complete the training. So that's a quick overview for those who don't know about PMI, PMP, examination. With that, let's directly jump into the subject, PMBOK Guide 8th edition overview and changes. So let's start with the basics. Usually, in a PMP exam preparation training, we won't be able to go through the background. We will directly jump into the concept required for the PMP exam. So this webinar will help you to understand the background of the PMBOK guide as well as the certification process. So project management body of knowledge is a broader concept. It is like everything what you want to know about project management. And this body of knowledge doesn't exist as a single material. Depends on the type of the project you are managing. You have to refer to a number of materials, libraries, or online resources, etc. So what PMI have done is they have published a subset of this project management body of knowledge, and they called it as PMBOK guide, project management body of knowledge guide. What you will have in PMBOK guide, or what you are having in PMBOK guide, is generally practiced project management standards which are applicable for almost every project. So PMBOK, project management body of knowledge, that doesn't exist as a single material. It is a collection of number of references. What PMI have done is they have created a subset of the whole PMBOK and they named it as PMBOK guide. So is PMBOK guide enough to successfully manage a project? Not enough. Here you will get the generally practiced project management standards, terminologies, methodologies, frameworks, etc. In addition to that, you should have application area knowledge and you have to follow your own standards and regulations. Application area means your industry. As you mentioned in the introduction poll, some of you are from construction. That's your industry or application area. Some others are from IT, manufacturing, etc. So how to deal or manage a project in your industry should know that. What standards you have to follow there. For example, if you are in construction, in terms of Qatar, you have to follow Qatar construction specifications. According to the type of the project, you have to follow the standards and you have to comply with the regulations. And we are not discussing much in detail about application area knowledge in our training. We talk about PMBOK guide. And in addition to that, you have to understand your project environment. Same scenario, if it's happening in my project as well as your project, we won't manage in the same way. It depends on our environment, our stakeholders, the urgency of that particular situation, etc. So you need to understand your project environment. Even in the same organization, 2 different projects, environment could be different. So you need to understand that better. And you should also have general management knowledge and skills, how to organize, how to manage time, how to deal with people, etc. Also interpersonal skills, your communication skills, your negotiation skills, your leadership qualities, your motivation skills, your problem solving skills, critical thinking skills. So we will cover a bit of these areas, interpersonal skills, project environment, in the PMBOK guide or PMP training. But apart from that, you have to know, as you can see, some part of this we are covering in PMBOK guide, not everything. That is just to give an overview. So if you are, all of you are in project management, obviously. So PMBOK guide will help you to understand the commonly practiced project management standards, terminologies, frameworks, methodologies. Apart from that, you should be having knowledge in other areas as well to manage your project successfully. Just because if you are having an additional device, if you are joining from laptop or your tablet, you can use your mobile to scan this, or I have put the link in the chat box. Just a question. When you think this PMBOK guide was first introduced? Don't worry if it is right answer, wrong answer. Just okay. So yeah, so already have an answer. You can type in the chat box also, or you can scan and you can participate. So A, 1987. Okay, so we have 2 answers already. Or if you want to answer through the link, you can use that link, or you can scan this using your mobile or secondary device, and you can respond to the question as well. Right. So let's see the responses. Some of you mentioned 1987. Some of you mentioned 2004. So most of you are saying 1987. So it's A and D. A, 1987. Right. Okay, so none of you mentioned about 1996, 1987, 2000, 2004. Okay, this is just to wonder. Again, there is an answer, but the purpose of the quiz is not to check whether you know the right answer, just to participate. 2004, it's not there? Yeah, okay, D. Anyway, you want to know the right answer? The right answer is 1996. And none of you selected that. Anyway, that's okay. So PMBOK guide was introduced in 1996. In fact, 1987 is a kind of answer, but it's not the right answer. Well, I'll tell you why. So this is the evolution of PMBOK guide from 1996 to 2025. PMI came with a document in 1987. You are right, but that was not PMBOK guide. They named it as PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge, this one. So they thought, okay, this is about the standard, etc. initially as a draft. Based on the feedback they received from practitioners in the project management community, the rewritten document was published in 1996, and they named it as PMBOK guide. So those who mentioned 1987, you are partially correct. Why? They had this document, they published the document in 1987, but as PMBOK, not as PMBOK guide. So the first official edition of PMBOK guide was 1996 edition. And after that, every 4 to 5 years, they updated the document. The reason, project management is an emerging field. Only in the recent past, maybe 30 years back, we got the first degree program for project management. Before that, depends on the industry. For your construction means an architect or an expert civil engineer will be leading the project. If it is IT, an expert programmer or tester will be leading the project. So project management got recognized as a profession only in the last few years. So based on the evolving concepts, evolving nature of project management, PMI is also updating, the standards every 4 to 5 years. I'm not going through all the details. The slides will be available for the participants, all of you, those who registered and attended. I'll be sharing the slides so you can have a look into that. In the 1996 edition, they introduced about 37 processes and 9 knowledge areas. That's how PMBOK guide came into existence. It was around 176 pages at that time, right? Then in 2000, when they revised this document, they increased number of processes from 37 to 39, then maintained 9 knowledge areas. The number of pages increased to 211 plus, the core part of the book. In 2000, by the way, I prepared for the PMP examination based on second edition, and I got my PMP certification back in 2004. In 2004, they published the third edition. Before third edition, was introduced in the exam, I got my PMP certification. So they introduced 5 process groups, and also the number of processes increased from 39 to 44, and number of pages increased to around 400, 390. So initially, when they published this document, it was around 176 pages, then increased to 210 plus, then 390. Fourth edition came in 2008. They introduced the number of processes from 44 to 42. Number of pages increased to 460. Fifth edition of PMBOK guide was published in 2013. They added one more knowledge area, stakeholder management knowledge area they added, and the number of processes increased to 47, and the number of pages increased to 589 approximately. Sixth edition came in 2017. Number of processes increased to 49, still 10 knowledge areas, and the page increased to 756. So you can see how, the document got changed over the years from 1996 to 2017. Then in 2020, PMI took a decision. We cannot continue doing this. Number of pages are increasing, number of processes are increasing, and that was mainly addressing predictive way of managing the project or waterfall methodology. When they introduced sixth edition in 2017, Agile was picking up. So they added Agile practice guide also in addition to 756 pages to address the Agile community. So at that time, based on sixth edition, if you want to prepare for the examination, you have to go through those 49 processes from sixth edition, and you have to go through the Agile practice guide. In 2021, during COVID, they published the seventh edition, and they completely moved from this knowledge area, process group, processes, and they introduced 12 principles and 8 performance domains. A number of pages decreased to 274 pages. So they removed all the processes, knowledge areas, and introduced 12 principles and 8 performance domains. There was a problem. Those who are preparing for the PMP exam, PMP exam, till now, 50% of the questions in the examination are based on processes. So to understand this process, they have to go through PMBOK guide 6th edition, which they actually renamed into a process guide. We have to go through that document. And PMBOK guide 7th edition to know about the principles and performance domains, and Agile practice guide to know about the Agile. So 3 documents we have to go through. And again, our training was based on PMA material, so never our participants read all these 3 documents. We provided the required information through our training for them to prepare. And there are a lot of complaints during this period. Those who are implementing this PMBOK guide, they don't have guidance. They don't have the processes, tools and techniques, and so on. 8th edition of PMBOK guide was published on 13th November 2025 in PMI conference. They introduced those 5 process groups as 5 focus areas. They renamed the processes to focus areas, and they have reduced the 12 principles to 6 principles and 8 performance domains instead of knowledge areas. 10 knowledge areas reduced to 8 performance domains, 12 principles reduced to 6 principles, and 5 focus groups, and process groups renamed to focus groups got introduced. Now, in this current edition, we have around 401 pages. The first reaction from the project management community is, wow, because what you want to know for the latest profession from 6th edition, from 7th edition, from Agile Practice Guide, all compiled into 8th edition of PMBOK Guide. That's basically the major change. High level, no, not major, high level change. So 7th edition, they removed the processes, process groups. They put only the performance domains and principles. 8th edition, process groups reintroduced as focus groups. Knowledge areas renamed to performance domains. Reduced from 10 to 8. A number of processes decreased from 49 to 40. So currently we have 40 processes in the new PMBOK guide. right? The print edition of this material, new edition, is going to be available from January 13th from PMI website or Amazon or other websites you can buy. If you are a member of PMI, you can download a soft copy of this material from PMI's website. It's available. I already have downloaded mine, printed mine, and I have gone through all the whole document, and then we are organizing this particular webinar. So this process of developing PMBOK guide was almost a year actually. The draft was available a few months back. Around 48,000 feedbacks they got, and they updated it. So it's a community-driven development and thorough process review and the updated document to ensure that it is applicable for the latest profession and universal accessibility. So even in the first page of the document, they are mentioned. Earlier versions are like a little bit hard to understand, but new version is simplified so that any part of the world, they can follow that. So I'll quickly take you through the key changes between 7th edition and 8th edition. For the last 40 years, if you count from 1987, as many of you mentioned 1987, that's the document where they introduced the definitions. One of the definitions they introduced was project definition. In 8th edition, after 38 years, they have changed the definition of the project. Those who are preparing for PMP exam, don't get confused. This is something for the future, for the next examination. So for you, still it is the original definition. There is a minor change, but a major impact. In 7th edition, the definition of project was a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. And 8th edition, they changed into temporary initiative in a unique context undertaken to create value. Undertaken to create value. A complete change. They introduced this concept value in 7th edition, and they are re-emphasizing on that in 8th edition. Earlier, it was focused on the output. You have to come up with a unique product, service, result. Now they are focusing on the outcome. Project is taken or initiated to deliver value. So project manager's role have now changed. Yes, it was it was never being only focusing on time, cost, or quality. It is also focusing on creating value. I did a simple search in 8th edition of PMBOK guide to know how many times they have mentioned value in this document. 590 times they have mentioned about value in the 8th edition of PMBOK guide, which is around 400 times in the previous edition, 7th edition. Definition of project management has changed. 7th edition, we all know, application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. Now it is, first part is same, application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities. Second part got changed to meet or exceed the intended value. Intended value. Now, definition of project success got changed. Earlier, it was not clearly given as a definition. We used project management definition to build a definition for project success, but now they have a very clear definition. The consensus view across intended beneficiaries, other stakeholders, and project participants that a project was perceived to have delivered value that was worth the effort and expense. So if you go for a definition of value, in different contexts, we have different definitions. In mathematics, it could be a number, right? In other areas, they have different meanings. In project management, delivering value is exceeding the effort and expense. The effort what you are putting for that project and the money what you are spending or the expense you are having. If you are providing an outcome which is more than that, then you are providing value. So it could be like any kind of project. So 8th edition gives a definition of value. I'm not going through all this. Quickly, I will go through the key points. The excess of financial and non-financial benefits over investment that is gained from achieving the goals of a portfolio, program, or project. So they're completely shifting from delivering a product, service, or result to delivering value. So that is the shift in project management profession. So organizations, those who are going to adopt 8th edition, already those who are using 7th edition, they will adopt to 8th edition. So in the future, they will see project managers as value creating vehicle. Right. So I've given some details, which you can go through that later when I'm sharing the slides in different stakeholder perspective, how you can see as value. So it's not like finishing the project on time within the budget. Yes, you have to do that. Plus, you have to focus on delivering value to your customers. Another change is they have brought in social responsibilities and sustainability into the equation. Earlier, it was not that covered in the previous editions. In the previous edition, this triangle still remains the same. Ways of working, power skills, business acumen. Ways of working is about your context. How will you manage the scope, schedule, cost, quality, etc. Power skills are your interpersonal skills, people management skills, how you are going to, or what about your communication skills? We already discussed about that. Business acumen is important. This is what they are introducing as a system for value delivery. Business acumen is the skill of a project manager or a project professional to connect your project with the organization, with the strategy. So this is an ecosystem they are creating. The project is always linked to the organization's strategy, and you have to deliver the results. That's basically the update in the project management team competencies, in addition to the existing 3 ways of working, power skills, and business acumen. They were added the social responsibilities and results as well. And this is the new introduction, project management mindset. So earlier we had an agile mindset. If you remember, like during our PMP training, we discussed about agile mindset. Now they've introduced project management mindset. That includes being proactive, ownership, and value driven, and that is supported by 6 principles. Adopting a holistic view, embedding quality into processes and deliverables, be an accountable leader, build an empowered culture, focus on value, integrate sustainability within all project areas. These are readily applicable for your projects. You don't want to wait for, those who are not going to take the PMP exam, or already you are a PMP certified professional, you can start implementing this. You can start updating your documents based on this project management mindset, being proactive, taking the ownership, and working on value-driven delivery. And each area, each principle, they have defined or discussed in detail. As a project manager, as a project professional, you should be able to connect everything from initiation to closing to get a holistic view. This is directly coming from PMBOK guide. So those who are members of PMI, you can download this from PMI's website. Go through that, and maybe 5 pages they have explained about how to adopt a holistic view in projects. And here is a summary. Focus on value. This already we discussed. Everything is changed to value, delivering value, embedding value. So, see, value, in general, what do you mean by value? Are you able to fulfill your organization's requirements, project requirements? If my manager is requesting me for a report, for example, because we are managing a number of projects or coordinating a number of projects as PMO, he is having a meeting with CEO and he wants this report on time, error-free, so that he can give his presentation and get approvals or budget for the project. If I am able to deliver that on time, error-free, and that serves the purpose, I'm delivering value. So don't think value is something like we have to do something extra. It's about being useful, delivering what our project wants, delivering what our leaders want. That's what value is. So if you are an admin person, for example, or in your organization, if you're an admin person, if that person is doing the job correctly and that is supporting the project team in terms of coordination, meeting arrangement, etc., that person is delivering value. Here we are talking about project value. That's it. So that's about value, right? Focus on value, your role, and how you are going to deliver value in your role. And another important thing they have mentioned, it's not new, it's like rewriting about the quality. So usually when you talk about quality, you think about quality control, quality assurance, product to be delivered in quality. They're saying embed quality in everything. Your work, processes, deliverables, etc. Focus on compliance requirements and be an accountable leader. So as a leader, you should be empathetic. Those who finished the PMP training, you know about that. You should have emotional intelligence. You should make right decisions. You should support your team. So being accountable for your decisions, for your team, you should lead by example. These are the things they are focusing in this particular principle. Integrate sustainability within all project areas. This is something new. See, whatever I'm introducing or I'm explaining, these are required for the new PMP examination. Currently, some of them, yes, it's not entirely new. Some of them is already there in the current PMP exam. This is new. Those who are preparing for the examination now, you don't want to know about sustainability for the PMP exam. But for the new examination, you have to know about sustainability. Integrate sustainability within all project areas, meaning keeping the world safe for our future generations. That could be through recycling, carbon emission, whatever, depends on the type of the project you are. So, what is more desirable and being sustainable or integrate sustainability in project management is avoiding negative outcomes altogether. As I told you, it could be anything. Minimizing negative outcomes generated, restoring impacts of negative outcomes, or compensate, offset for negative outcomes generated. This is least preferred. This is most preferred method of managing sustainability in the project. There will be questions in the new PMP examination as a project manager, how you will integrate sustainability in your projects. Build an empowered culture. This is what we learned as servant leadership. Empower your team, not like they are depending on you to make decisions, provide guidance. They are empowered to make their own decisions and do the work in a self-organized way. So that's about the last principle. I haven't read all. Obviously, you can go through PMBOK. If you're a member of PMI, you can download it from PMI's website, or you can purchase it from Amazon or local e-commerce websites. It will be available from January 13th. Even though soft copy is currently available in PMI's website. Now, the major change, this is about the high-level overview, about the mindset, about the principles, but the major change is in this area. Those who are currently preparing for the examination, this is based on 6th edition of PMBOK guide. Currently, it is a process guide. We have 5 process groups, initiation to closing, and we have 10 knowledge areas, integration to stakeholder management. And in between, we have 49 processes mapped in these 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas. This is changed. These process groups renamed into, as I told you, 7th edition it was removed. We were not having a process group or process or knowledge areas. The name of the name of that process group haven't changed, but instead of process group, they changed to focus area. The reason is there was a kind of overlap between project management, life cycle, and process group. So they renamed it to focus areas, initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. This is about the holistic view. Instead of knowledge areas, they renamed it to performance domains. These 10 knowledge areas changed to 8 performance domains. Let's see which knowledge area got removed, right, altogether. One of the knowledge areas that got removed altogether is procurement management. Another one is communications management. Communications, they put it as part of stakeholder management. Some part of procurement is part of, integration. Integration name also changed. That's 2 major changes. Communications not there in the new edition, procurement not there. Integration renamed to governance. Cost renamed to finance. Quality is also removed. That is now part of integration or governance. So if you see here, we have governance. Earlier was integration, scope, schedule, cost changed to finance, stakeholders, resources, risk. So quality is not there, communications not there, procurement not there. So it is now reduced to, sorry, not 8, 7 focus groups, sorry, performance areas. Quality gone, procurement gone, communication is not gone, that is integrated into stakeholder management. Does that mean they are not going to show up in the exam? They will. Why? Because now if you see quality management, they have put quality management, manage quality assurance as part of governance. Plan sourcing strategy, which is procurement, is part of governance. Plan communications management, manage communications, monitor communications. That was a separate knowledge area, now part of stakeholders. One of the major change philosophies or project management practitioners are looking into is finance. Earlier, it was cost management. When you talk about cost management, the focus was on cost estimation, budgeting, and those areas. Now, finance changed that to benefits management, right? You have to plan financial management, from where you are going to get the finance, what benefit is expected. Current examination doesn't ask you any questions about net present value, internal rate of return, or opportunity cost. All these will be part of finance. Whether there will be questions in the new exam, that we will see in a minute. So those who are already PMP certified, or you are preparing for your PMP examination, those processes got reduced from 47 to 40, and number of knowledge areas renamed to performance domains. Some of the knowledge area or performance domains names changed, some of them completely removed, but integrated with other knowledge areas or performance domains, and process groups renamed to focus groups. This is in the change in the process mapping. Another important thing, they brought the inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs back in 8th edition. It was not there in 7th edition. Even in the PMP exam, we were not focusing in this format. We are mainly focusing on the tools and techniques. That is enough for the current PMP exam. But the new PMBOK guide reintroduced the inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs for all these 40 processes. For every process, for example, currently we have one of the processes, assess and implement changes. So here, one of the processes, integrate and align project plans. And here you see the inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs of integrate and align project plans. Who will benefit from this practice? For example, you have to identify stakeholders. What tools and techniques I have to follow, what output I should develop, what inputs I should refer to, it will be in PMBOK guide. You can directly refer to that. It was there till 6th edition, 7th edition removed, and even exam got changed. Now they have reintroduced that in the 8th edition. So this is how they are linking everything. These three are your mindsets for project management: proactive, ownership, value driven, which is supported by 6 principles such as adopt a holistic view and so on, then further managed through those performance domains, 7 performance domains, starting from governance, scope, schedule, finance, stakeholders, resources, and risk. That's basically the idea. How to implement this? Can I take as it is these 400 pages and use it in my project? No, you should not, and you can't, because PMBOK guide is not written keeping your project in mind. Thousands of professionals around the globe working in project management, like you and me, they came together and they provide the feedback. There was a core project team. They reviewed all this and prepared this based on industry requirements. So it is not prepared for a specific kind of project. So the very important part is tailoring to fit to your project context. So those mindset principles and those performance domains, you have to pick and choose in terms of managing or defining scope, how I'm going to do it. in terms of scheduling, how I'm going to do it. They introduced some new concepts in scheduling. Currently, we have only critical path method. The new exam or the new PMBOK guide focuses on critical chain method. They have also introduced some additional scheduling concepts, which all can be useful in the project, but you should learn that for the new PMP exam as well. So tailoring means customizing. You need to customize it according to your project requirements. And another important change in PMBOK guide is they have introduced AI guidance within PMBOK guide. As you know, most of the project management activities, especially repetitive activities, already it is done by AI. In terms of planning and scheduling, automated task scheduling, and this is something we all know. Or AI is overall, within that there is machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and that's where we have this ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, etc. Some of you or most of you might be using this GPT, generative AI, but in many projects, if you are using Power BI, already you are using maybe machine learning and deep learning and other AI tools you might be using. So let's see some of the project management areas already AI have taken over. There are software tools using AI for automated task scheduling. They are learning and they are scheduling and they are readjusting. Resource allocation, optimized resource allocation, better than manual allocation. Risk prediction through machine learning models. Progress tracking, performance analytics through predictive analysis and so on. Issue detection. In our organization, we are doing few projects based on AI. We are in proof of concept stage. Some of them are in advanced stages, such as detecting quality defects in the materials. Digital twin, modern methods of construction. They are actually helping in scenario planning. Risk management is now so easy. Prioritization of the task is done by AI. Document management is done by AI. Communication automation. How many of you are now drafting an email manually? Many of you, including me, we are using ChatGPT or Copilot, which is built inside Microsoft Office tools to generate documents, create emails, review documents, summarize documents. Workflow automation. You can create your own Copilot agents or ChatGPT agents, and it can automate the workflow, and so on. So normally I used to mention this in our PMP training. In the future, there will be only two categories of people. One, those who are adopted to AI, and two, those who haven't adopted to AI. Throughout the mankind, some major changes happened. They say invention of the wheel was a major change long back. All these modern ways of transportation all came after the invention of the wheel. And similarly, if you look into the history, some major changes, one among that is computers. Initially, people thought, okay, computers, they're not going to do anything much, but you know the history, what happened. Similarly, the next major change, almost everyone is saying, is AI. And we are in early stages. Only, I think in 2023, ChatGPT came into existence. Even though AI is there from 1950s, but as a common man, we all started to use AI after ChatGPT. So in 2 to 3 years, if that kind of development happened, think about next 10 years. Already Tesla is testing humanoid robots. It can go and work in high-risk areas. It can replace many works. So usually, what we are seeing or hearing, or the trend, what we're seeing, is it going to replace you or me? Very difficult. If you learn AI, and that's why they introduced in PMBOK, because the world is moving towards AI, and you will be tested in the PMP exam with AI questions, AI-based questions. Again, what kind of questions will be there in the exam? Are they going to ask you about technical questions? How will you program? How will you do deep learning, machine learning? No, management questions. How will you use AI in your management decisions, management work, that kind of questions. So the point is, it may not replace everyone, but As you know, currently it takes 4 hours for me to review a contract and understand the key points and summarize it. And many a times I make mistake as well. But using AI, I can finish that in maybe 30 minutes. So I'm getting additional time, which I can utilize for other aspects. Recently did a survey, which areas are most impacted and which areas are less impacted by AI. Most impacted are technical work, repetitive tasks like what we discussed, planning, scheduling, progress measurement, predictive analysis, resource allocation. They're all like taken over, almost taken over by AI. Which aspects are less impacted by AI? The answer is where human touch is required. Leadership, motivation, dealing with people, soft skills. So far, as of today, AI is not touching that area. What does that mean? Probably you are an expert in technical area. You should start looking into the soft skills area as well, improving your communication skills, leadership qualities, your design thinking capabilities, critical thinking capabilities. These areas, as of now, is difficult to touch. These are least impacted areas. So project management is one of those areas. Project management, that P, project manager, not only stands for project, it also the people manager. So you have to be a people person. So PMP certification or the concepts what we are learning through the PMP training will help you to learn more about leadership qualities, and many project managers have mentioned after the training, it in fact improved our knowledge about people management, and that's helping in our project. So in the future, you might answer questions related to AI in the PMPX, not technical questions. How will you do programming? How will you prepare a dashboard? Instead, the questions will be more of, you have an AI-based dashboard, how are you going to make use of it in making decisions? Anyway, still we are waiting for more details from PMI. So that's basically a quick summary. There are other changes as well, but they are like, as I told you, minor changes. These are major changes what we discussed. So what is the practical impact? I already told you for project professionals, most of the organizations, they will adopt to 8th edition. When they adopt to 8th edition, 40 years, for the last 40 years, they had the definition of project management. Now it is changed. It all moves to value. So the question is, are you adding value in your current role? If you are adding value, yes, there is a future, and obviously you can look into the trainings, you can look into the promotions, etc. If you're not adding value, then obviously when an organization is taking a decision, like for example, reduce people, normally where they look into who is not adding value. So don't take PMBOK as it is. Instead, PMBOK is adaptable. Tailor, you can tailor it and you can use it for your projects. Start reading PMBOK guide. If you are a member of PMI, download from PMI's website and start reading it. It's, as I told you, the new version, as PMI I mentioned in the first page, they made it in a very simple English, easy to read. Earlier versions, usually they are boring, to be frank. Now it's more interesting. I finished PMBOK guide within a week, actually, 400 something pages. Obviously, it's not full-time reading. I'm working, doing training, and then I'm finding time to read it as well. Outcome-focused delivery. It's no longer output-focused. It is outcome-focused. AI-powered decision-making. As I told you, that's another area to focus. Strategic alignment. That is the context we discussed about creating value and aligning with the strategy. So that's the future of project management. By the way, if you are interested in AI, there are 5 courses within PMI. If you're a member of PMI, you can access that. You get PDUs for that as well. I'll show you at the end how to access the member benefits. If you're a member of PMI, you can make use of those courses as well. So continuous learning is the only way to improve. So embrace that. Develop the core competencies such as people management, ways of working, business acumen, social responsibility, sustainability, focusing on value, etc. Leverage digital tools. You have access to, in my organization, I have access to Microsoft Copilot, and we are getting training, and we are using it to develop our workflows, develop our, Copilot agents, etc. If you are having access to any such tools, start, using it for your project purpose. Lead transformational change. Introduce this to your organization. If they have templates, methodologies based on old PMBOK guide, see how this new PMBOK guide is impacting, and always stay ahead of the curve, right? you took time on a weekday, some countries it is weekend, to attend this webinar for 2 hours, meaning you are in a learning process. So stay ahead of the curve, learn about new things, go and talk to your organization and see how it is going to impact your upcoming projects, project documents, templates, etc. Especially AI focused delivery and all is very important. So that's the first part of our presentation. So I know many of you are interested about the second part, PMP exam 2026 updates. So far what those who joined a little bit late, you can watch this recording. It will be available in our YouTube channel by tomorrow. So we focused on the major changes in the PMBOK guide 8th edition. Also, we discussed how this is going to impact you as a project practitioner, what you have to do to embrace the change. Now, those who are planning to take the examination in the next few months or in the future, this part is for you. What are the changes going to be in the PMP exam 2026? Okay, as we discussed, when PMBOK guide got introduced, let's see, when PMP exam got introduced, scan this, or you can use the link in the chat box and you can answer this question. Which year PMP exam was? Again, not for the right answer, just think about that. We know 1996, they introduced PMBOK guide, right? So when they introduced 1969, PMI was established. Okay. So, okay, we got the first answer or few answers. And okay, Alam is typing in the chat box. Let's see. Take a few seconds. You can use that QR code, or you can use the link in the chat box to respond. Right. So we have few responses. 1984, 54%, 9% 69, 9% 96, 27%, 2000. Okay, some of you already responded in the chat box. Okay, let's go with the answer B. Okay, and the right answer is, this time most of you provided the right answer. You need to know the first edition of PMBOK guide was published in 1996, but the PMP exam was introduced in 1984 based on the first document, right? That is a guide to the, project management body of knowledge, not guide. That's based on that, they introduced the certification more than 40 years now, 40 plus years. They are conducting PMP certification. This is the first certification introduced in project management. Till 2020 December, 5 years back, almost 5. Now today is the last day of November. PMP exam was based on PMBOK guide till 6th edition of PMBOK guide. 2021 January, they changed. PMP exam is now based on something called PMP exam content outline. Right? From 2021 January till now, we are using the same exam content outline, even though 7th edition got introduced after 2021 and 2022, exam haven't changed. Yes, question type got changed, but exam haven't changed fully. Now that is going to change. The new exam is going to be launched in July 2026, already confirmed by PMI. And the new exam content outline is available in PMI's website. What changes are going to happen? Already available in PMI's website. So usually they will give 6 to 7 months after the change of PMBOK guide to change the PMP exam. Now they already published new exam content outline. So those who already finished the PMP training and you haven't taken the examination yet, you have time till June 2026. Which date of July? We don't have it yet. So let's keep it as 1st of July. They are going to change the examination. So 7 months you are having to take your exam and pass the examination. So that's current. Now till June 2026, you can take the current examination. The new training will be introduced by PMI in April 2026. The first one to know about the new material is authorized trainers like me. They will update us. They already gave the draft material. We reviewed and gave our feedback. Now the new training will be introduced in April 2026. Then by July, you will take the new examination. Because you took a training before July or you applied for the examination before July, will you take the old examination after July? No. Whoever going for the examination after whatever date in July, the exam is changing, you will take the new examination. Looking into the big picture, holistic view, the new exam is going to be difficult, but we don't know yet. This is like an assumption, as well as the feedback we are seeing from many practicing professionals in LinkedIn and other social media websites. Why? You will see in a minute. So, what are the major changes in the new examination? First, the 3 domains, currently they are testing the PMP professionals, haven't changed. People, process, business, environment haven't changed. But the percentage of questions they will ask in these domains, they have changed it. As of now, 42% of questions are from people domain. That will be reduced to 33%. 50% of questions are from process domain. That will be reduced to 41%. Business environment, currently very few questions, 8%. That will be increased to 26%. They're giving or adding more value to business environment. It's reduced from people, process, and they're giving it to business environment. That's a major change. Another change, currently, predictive project management approaches, questions will be 50%. Agile and hybrid approaches, questions will be another 50%. Currently, 50-50. But the new exam gives more weightage to agile and hybrid approaches. We cannot discuss about the difference between predictive, agile, hybrid today. It's a detailed discussion. You can refer to PMBOK guide, 8th edition. You have the required information there. And the predictive weightage is reduced to 40%. So more focus is on agile in the new examination. So 2 changes we have seen here. 1, the percentage of questions in each domain got changed. 2, weightage for agile increased from 50 to 60%. 3, number of questions got increased from 180 to 185. Current examination, you are answering 175 scored questions and 5 unscored questions or dummy questions. New examination, they have added 5 more dummy questions, new questions they are testing. And the time for the current examination is 230 minutes. New examination is 240 minutes. Current exam, you have to finish in 3 hours, 50 minutes. New exam, 4 hours, 10 more minutes for 5 more questions, approximately 2 minutes you are getting extra for the new questions. Current examination, we have 2 breaks. New exam also we have 2 breaks. But the difference is, current exam, we have 10 minutes break. 10 minutes for each break. It's reduced to 5 minutes in the new exam. So number of questions increased to 185 from 180. Duration of exam increased to 4 hours from 3 hours 50 minutes. Break time reduced from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. This is the next change. Third, the type of questions you are going to have in the examination. As of now, we have situational questions in the exam. There will be a situation and you have to read that, understand and answer the question. They are introducing case study questions or scenario-based questions. There will be a scenario for you to read, and based on the scenario, there will be a question and you have to respond. The problem here is the time. You have to answer 185 questions in 4 hours, approximately 1.2 minutes per question. But reading like this, then going through the question and answering is going to take time, especially for non-native speakers. We don't know. This is the feedback we are seeing in the trainer community as well as in the project management community. That's the assumption. Second, enhanced matching. So earlier matching means you will have set of questions here, set of answers here, and you have to match. Now you have a figure and there are questions here and you have to drag and drop above the figure. For example, at what point this project is ahead of schedule, you have to drag and drop there. Where it is behind schedule, drag and drop there on the figure. This is something new. We don't know is it going to take more time, but there's a new question. Third, graphic based question. They're also new. There will be a graph or a diagram or an image. This is about the requirements traceability matrix. You have to read that ID, etc. And the question will be based on that. And you have to see which of these ID or requirements traceability matrix element will be affected because of this. This is also going to consume more time. Currently, we don't have questions like this. It will be directly situation and question based on that. Now, a graph, a diagram, or an image you have to understand, and the question is based on that. Next, pull down list, right? There will be a question and there will be listed options. You have to choose the right answer. One or two questions are there currently like this. In the new exam, there might be more questions. What haven't changed? Multiple choice, single response. 4 choices, 1 correct answer. You will have questions like that. Multiple response questions, more than 1 correct answer with 5 or 6 choices. Point and click. This is called hotspot questions. You have to click on the image. That is not changed. And also, matching questions. This is a default matching, clicking and dragging. So these are the major changes to the PMP exam. So what I'll do, I'll quickly go through the PMP exam content outline. (2026) version and show you the major differences, right? PMP. Okay, let me show you the PMI page and also I'll show you the benefit for members. So if you are a member, you can access those benefits. So coming soon, PMP exam updates. There is a page for that you can access from PMI's website and you can see the changes. A reimagined PMP exam built around real world impact and value. Updated learning resources available from April, I told you. And to keep that, see, one of the reasons why they are changing, many organizations, they depend on the PMP certification holders when they are actually interviewing for new positions. As I told you, if you go to LinkedIn or any job portal and search for a project management role, 8 out of 10 or even sometimes more than that will ask for a PMP certification. So they have to keep it current. So they're updating. So for us as professionals, we have to adapt to that particular change. So the current exam you can take until July 2026. Exact cutoff date will be confirmed. By the way, there is another important update. Those who are already PMP certified, they are coming up with a senior PMP certification, advanced PMP, the next level. Usually I get this question, IPMA and others, they have different levels of certification. Do we have that levels in PMP? So far, no. However, they are going to introduce that in 2026. If you're already PMP certified, you can look for this advanced. We are waiting for more details about this advanced PMP. They will have a name called senior PMP or something like that. Okay. A pilot new exam will run from 5 to 30 January and fully updated exam launches in January. If you are interested to take the pilot exam, you can try that as well. Okay. You cannot register for the new examination until July 2026. Okay. April 2026, the training will start. This is the exam content outline. The new one, which is going to be from July 2026. So already I told you about the domains and predictive and agile. I told you about that. Eligibility, no change. And, questions changed. Okay. 15th December, pilot registration opens. When you go to PMP exam, if already approved by PMI, you'll have 2 options to register. One, do you want to take the pilot exam or you want to take the current examination? And the pilot exam will be from 5 to 30. If you are interested, you can go for that. So April 2026, new training. July 2026, new exam will be starting. This is the updated exam content outline. So this is about the updates. So here, the people domain, process domain, and business environment domain haven't changed. But the number of questions or percentage of questions increased to 26%. You can access this and you can go through. I'm not reading all those, and eligibility requirements are all there in the PMI's website. Before we go to the next part, any questions? And if you have a question, raise your hand and you can ask it, or type your question in the chat box, or unmute and just ask your question. I will respond. So, a quick summary. We started our session with a comparison of PMBOK editions, and we discussed in detail about the key changes in the PMBOK Guide 8th edition. Okay, pilot examination. What is this pilot exam? So, before they are launching the new examination, they will be launching a pilot exam to test the new examination. So, point number one, there will be reduced fees for the pilot examination. Point number two, you will not get the result immediately. You will take the exam and they will not announce the result immediately. They will analyze it. They will check the pattern of the exam takers, and it will take 4 to 5 days or more than that to announce the examination. It will be the new exam, but they are piloting it with the limited number of participants to test whether it is working. So in January, they are testing. If they want to make any changes till June, like they have the time, they'll make the change and they will launch the exam. But you have to register for that during this period. So first you have to apply for the exam. While applying, there is no change. Once they approve your application, you have to pay for the exam. And after paying, when you go and book the exam in Pearson VUE, they will ask you, do you want to take the current exam or new pilot examination? So far, there is no information about the new. So before coming, Vishwa, is that clear for you? What is a pilot exam? So new exam, they are piloting with limited number of professionals. And they will let you know whether you passed or failed. And if you pass, that's fine. So exam fees, as of now, there is no change. There is no information so far from PMI about the change in the examination fees. Okay, right. So PMP exam structure changes we discussed. What are the key changes in the PMP exam? I'm sure like all of you are having the right information with you to take a decision whether you want to take the examination now or you want to take the examination after July, right? We recommend as Bsight, based on what we are seeing and what we are hearing, we recommend to take the examination before the change. One of the reasons is, it's not only the new exam is going to be difficult or easy. One of the reasons is, for the current exam, we have a lot of materials. From 2021 till now, a lot of materials, sample questions, a lot of supporting materials available. New exam will take some time to mature, to understand. We have to wait for the feedback of the new exam takers, look into the social media sites like LinkedIn or Reddit to know how the new exam is, and new materials will take time. So currently, it's a matured exam, a lot of materials available, better to take the exam. As the structure is being changed in current future, what do you think the change would be, like a tough exam or will be easy one? Looks like a tough exam, because as I told you, PMI is partnering with global major organizations. Even in Qatar, they're working with some government organizations to have a tie-up or MOU with them to make PMP or the certification the default requirement for their job roles. So looks like, already they have associations with many countries. You can look into Project Management Institute LinkedIn page, which organizations they are tying up with. So looks like it is going to be tough. I'm not sure about that. The right answer is I don't know, but looks like it is going to be tough, right? So any other questions? Right. Key stakeholders who drive for changes in PMBOK other than PMI committee. Key stakeholders are professionals like you and me. What they did is they announced this project 2 years back, and they formed a core committee, if I'm right, 13 members, not from PMI, from different parts of the world. They are actually, part of the core committee. They interviewed, discussed with many project professionals, came with a draft. It was open for the public to comment for a couple of months. They got, if I'm right, 48,000 feedbacks, etc. They reviewed. They took another 6 to 8 months, and they updated the material, published it. So it's basically written by industry experts like you and me, or professionals like you and me, for the industry. Shiva, does that answer your question? Great. Okay.
Yes,
Any other
sir.
questions? Okay. Thanks. So, okay. Yes, Raymond. Before that, exam update. Currently, the update is only for PMP. We don't see any change for the other examinations. Okay. Okay. I don't see a change, or there is no announcement yet. RMP, Risk Management Professional, got changed recently, few years back, a year back almost. RMP got changed. PMP is changing now. Obviously, CAPM will change based on the new edition, and others, PGMP changed a couple of years back. So immediately PMP is going to change. Next, CAPM will change, may change. Others, we don't see a change immediately. Right. So quickly, I will go through PMI's website. If you're a member of PMI, you can get membership benefits. I know some of you are members, but you're not using membership benefit. So it is always better to, get membership. And as Raymond mentioned, if you are a student of an university, like a full-time student or a part-time student, you can get student membership at a discounted price. I think there's 50% discount or more than that. So when you get membership, you will see an option to become a student member, right? So if you are a member of PMI as a full member or student member, you have all the benefits. So I'm showing here about the benefits. I am a member of PMI since 2004 because I have some value in that. I'm using it for my training, my work, tools and templates, etc. You can be a member of chapter, and download a membership card. You can download a membership badge as well as certificate. So these are some of the members overview of membership. And if you go to the benefits, like ChatGPT, PMI is having PMI Infinity. Any project related question, project management related question, you can ask to PMI Infinity. As a member, you have full access. You can create templates. It can give you all the details. There are loads of materials in PMI's website as knowledge resources. This GBT goes and looks into that and provide you results. I'm using it almost every day for my work. And you can download the latest edition of PMBOK guide as well as other standards from PMI's website. There are other publications if you are interested to know about, PMI. So these are the standards: PMBOK guide, program management standard, earned value management standard, etc. You can download that as well as a member. Then you get discount on PMI certifications and certification renewal. A member will pay $405 for the PMP exam. Non-member will pay $655 for the PMP exam. You will be getting discount to attend PMI events, and there is also PMI Picks knowledge base you can refer to. PMI Standards Plus is another document you can refer to. Business Reading Center, this is one of the good ones. Sometimes I use this. There are 1,700 top business magazines and trade publications. You have the free access as a PMI member. I don't know how many of you are using. If you just go and purchase one among that, it will cost you maybe $20, $30, right? So you can use that. As you can see here, you can get the access to publications from these publishers, right, for your information. Then project management tools and templates. This is one of the areas it's useful for. As I'm working in PMO, I'll get requests for templates. I go through this, get an idea, then I'll prepare based on my template or for my organization based on that. And you will have on-demand webinars like the one you're attending live. There are on-demand webinars you can attend, and you can get PDUs, free PDUs for PMP certification whole days. And there is also a disciplined agile guide. You can download that, and discount for online courses, project management journal access, salary survey, global chapters. Already we have seen that. Career Central. If you're looking for a job, you can post your CV here, and so on. There are also courses you will get for free actually. As a member, you can go for the courses and you will get AI courses. For example, generative AI overview for project managers, talking to AI, prompt engineering for project managers. All these are free for members. There are more actually. You can go through that. As a member of PMI, as Raymond mentioned, if you are a student, if you are in a as well, right? So we are towards the end. We are starting. In fact, okay, just a minute. We started a batch yesterday. It was just an introduction class. So the real class is starting from tomorrow. That's the schedule. Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, evening, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. We are having classes. 2 days we don't have a class because due to the New Year celebration and so on. And this batch will finish on 5th of January. You see, this is one of the right batches to prepare for the current examination. You finish the training in 5th of January, then February, March, April, 3 months max, you can be certified. By end of February, 1st of March, you can be certified. So then still you have time in case you are not able to succeed in the first attempt, still you have time to prepare and take the exam before the change. So we already started. We just had a demo class yesterday for a couple of hours just to give an overview about PMI, PMBOK, etc. The real class will start from tomorrow, so 3 days a week. And if you are interested, mention that in the feedback form. Our team will contact you. So so you will get a certificate similar to this. You can use this scanner, a QR code to scan, and you can, fill the details. Immediately you will get the certificate in your email. Thank you, Raymond, for arranging the certificate through your association. So it will not mention PDUs, it will mention 2 hours. You can claim 2 PDUs. Those who are certified, you can go to PMI's website and you can claim PDU. I will also paste the link in the chat box. Just a minute. So please fill the feedback form and use the scan code, or you can use the link in the chat box to, fill the form. So keep the certificate. As I told you, you can add this to your CV. Those who are certified professionals, you can, claim PDU with this certificate. How to claim PDUs? It's quite easy. You just go to PMI's website, in your dashboard. Okay, in your dashboard, you will see your certifications. What certifications you are having? 77, 7, 7, 86, 86, 58. So if you need any support, you have a problem in claiming your PDUs, or you are planning to join our next batch starting tomorrow, this is our contact number. And as I told you, most of the participants are alumni. So you have done the training through us, got the PMP certification. Any questions before we finish for today? Sorry, some of you are just joining. I recommend you to watch the video. Even you are watching the video, you will, once again, on behalf of ICPEP and Bsight Consulting and Training, I thank you all for joining this webinar and being here till end of the session. I believe this session gave an idea to you about the change in the PMP project management profession, how the new area is going to be. As I told you, change is the one which will never change. So we have to adopt to the new changes. Even though you are not going for certification, read the new standard, start using it in your project. Those who are certified, please claim your PDUs. And those who are not taken a training, if you are planning to take the training, please contact us. We can give you a special price for those who are joining through ICPEP. Great. Raymond, you have any closing remarks?
No, that's it for tonight.
Excellent. So that's all. Soon we will meet again.